right, so when it comes to gambling, you can't beat the house, but you can beat other players. In his speech, Lessons from the Felt, Steve shares 3 insights he's learned playing poker the last 15 years that can help you at the poker table as well as in life. Please help me welcome Steve Pavelanis.
It was getting late in the tournament. My chips were getting low, things were getting desperate. Next hand is dealt. Players fold around to the guy to my right, who puts in a raise. I look down at my cards. I see 2 kings. Second best starting hand in this form of poker. I confidently re-raise this player, eager to get my chips in with him. Fold, 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 all the way to the last guy to act in the big blind, who re-raises me. At these stakes of poker, this is a $400 buy-in tournament, this is unusual. This screams, I've got it. I've got a monster. One hand right now beats me, 2 aces. Did I really just run my kings into aces? It really sucks when this happens, but most poker players can't get away from it. While the other players fold, the original raiser calls, he shoves all his chips in, and now I've made a decision for my tournament life. All my poker knowledge is saying he's got to have it. He's got to have aces. But I really hate folding. So I started looking at him, and I should mention, I've been really friendly with this guy the whole night. We've been joking around. That's my demeanor at a poker table. And I give him a look like, that? And then I see it. Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, any poker players here? We're up from 1 last week, so I'll take that. Poker is fascinating. I fell in love with it in 2004 watching the World Series of Poker on ESPN. The first time you could see the hole cards and see how people were playing, kind of like a backseat driver. Fascinating. Different strategies could win. You could get creative. There's math or psychology. I fell in love, and when I fall in love with things, I dive in head first. Read the book, studied, played over 1 million in the end hands of online poker. Lost at first, started to win, started to climb up in stakes, quit my IT career for a while to play cash games. That's a whole other speech. Eventually the online world dried up because of poker regulation. The US couldn't figure out how to tax it. So I played a lot of live poker in casinos. That's where I've really learned a lot of lessons that have helped me out in life as well as at the poker table. So I'm going to share a couple, well, 3 with you this evening. And the first one is never make financial decisions when you're feeling emotional. That should go without saying. An example, you're at the poker table. Every decision you make affects your chips. So every decision is financially based. If you lose your cool and go on what we call tilt, you can lose all your money in front of you and pull out more money and lose that and more after that and after that because you start making bad decisions that compound upon each other. A good example, I'm in a hand with one of the other 2 poker players here. Let's say it's Al. And we get the money in and I've got him cornered. He's in bad shape. I'm a 95% favorite to win. 5% of the time, Al's lucky horseshoe comes in and he beats me. He takes all my money even though I did everything completely right. This is hard to swallow when you're a new poker player. A lot of players, like I said, lose their cool and lose even more money. The right path to take is to look at it logically and say, wow, Al's really bad. I want to keep playing Al. I don't want to scare him away. I'll shake it off. It's math. It happens. If I stay here the rest of the day, I'm getting all of Al's money and probably a little bit more. So don't make financial decisions when you're feeling emotional. Try to use logic instead. My second lesson is learn how to interpret people's body language. Now let's say I'm playing a hand with Tony over there. A lot of money in the middle, a lot of pressure. I don't know what to do because Tony just made a huge bet. And I'm replaying the hand in my head. I can't figure it out. So I look at Tony. And Tony's looking at me, and he's kind of scowling a little bit. In fact, his arms are crossed, and he looks kind of mad at me. My caveman spidey sense says, danger, danger. That's strength, that's aggression, stay out of the way of that. Now, Tony might not even realize he's doing that. It could be completely subconscious, and in most low-stakes poker players without a lot of experience, it is just automatic. But let's read this for what it really is. Most beginning poker players, strong means weak, weak means strong. I'm not scared if Tony's looking at me like that. To me, that tells me he doesn't really have much. He wants me to go away. He does not want to see my chips go in the middle. So I can do something to test him. I can start shuffling my chips and start to kind of move as if I'm moving them into the pot and see how he reacts. He might move forward a little bit, become a little bit more perturbed, a little more aggressive. These things happen. And again, what would really set off my alarm bells is if he wasn't looking at me. If he was watching the TV in the corner, talking to his neighbor, chatting, laughing, not trying to scare me out of the pot. So learn how to interpret body language. Don't take it at surface level. Really think about what they're telling you. And a lot of it, they don't even know they're telling you. My third lesson from the felt, being nice makes life so much easier. This is especially true at the poker table. By being friendly and jovial and joking around with other players, I can get them to show me their cards. If I call their hand and I say, you know, with that bet and how this played out, you've got to have Queen Jack of Spades here. I think you just outturned me, I'm going to have to fold. A lot of the times they will show me their cards. I get free information. I didn't have to put chips in to get that information from them. Or maybe they'll show me a complete bluff. And we'll laugh about it, but I just got more information. Now I know what his body language looks like when he's bluffing. All helps me out. Now back to our story. I'm in a tough spot, right? Two kings. Am I against aces? So I look at this guy, and it happens. Wink. Not that kind of wink. We weren't flirting. We were just playing cards. But he gave me a wink, and I couldn't believe my eyes. Even though it goes against all my poker knowledge and the math, I fold my kings. Two players flip over their hands. He had aces, he had jacks. I would have been out. That guy just saved me $400 and kept me alive, and I thanked him at the break for giving me a break, but it all happened because I was nice. That happens in life all the time. So if you take these 3 lessons from the poker table, don't make financial decisions when you're feeling emotional. Learn how to interpret body language, what people are really trying to tell you, even if they don't know it, and just be nice. Life will be so much easier for you. Ironically, I'm playing the exact same tournament tomorrow at Blackhawk, and I'm going to incorporate all 3 of these things. Madam Toastmaster.